This is season 1, episode 4. Just to review, the last season that I had was I'm getting out of the hospital in in 17 days, which is pretty much a record for University Hospital of getting out after a stem cell transplant. Well, I get home and I'm actually feeling pretty good. And I'm very weak, though. Kind of hard to walk, that type of thing. If I sat down, literally impossible to get up without any help. But anyway, I was sleeping pretty good. I went to bed, and this is for about a couple days. I'm at home, feeling pretty good. I decided to get up, and I was hungry, and I was usually always eating like oatmeal, something very easy for my stomach, that type of thing. A little bit of brown sugar on there, cane sugar, and I was feeling pretty good. But I decided to make eggs and bacon that day, and I had a craving for that, and we've all had that for sure. I make eggs and bacon, and I make it, my eggs are over easy all the time, and I made some toast, that type of thing, and I ate that. And I guess the grease in the bacon or whatever didn't agree with me at all. Now that was pretty serious, actually. I immediately had stomach cramps to where I was almost incapacitated by that. I had to go lay down, and it felt like I wanted to roll up in like the fetal position during that process, which was pretty terrible for anybody to ever go through something like that. And I went immediately downhill very quickly from that. I couldn't eat anything. It felt like everything tasted like cardboard, burnt cardboard. So if you want to burn a piece of cardboard, go burn a piece of cardboard and then try to eat it. That's exactly what everything seemed to taste like. I was very sick, so my wife and my son decided to cart me back to the hospital. They carted me back to the hospital. They have a room ready for me. That's a great thing about University Hospital. We called in advance, and they automatically have a room, so I pretty much just walk right in there. Very little check-in type of thing. I didn't walk, I wheelchaired in. Somebody pushing me, and they had my room ready for me. Now I'm in there. I'm really sick, and they start treating me for graft versus host disease, which is a problem that my brother's stem cells were fighting my stem cells in my body. And they put me on all this medicine. I'm not going to go through all the names of medicine. And the reason why I don't do all this and anything really in too much of a chronological order is because every human is different as procedures. So I don't want anybody to come across and say, hey, so-and-so did this, and this is the reason why it happened good for him. No, everybody's different, and the doctor actually determines what's going to happen there at that particular point. I had stayed in there for approximately, I think it was like 28 days. Flat on my back, very weak at this point. And so I ended up ordering some books, and I ordered a book called The China Study. And The China Study is really not a book about China, as you would think it would be, but it is the most comprehensive book ever written in the history of the world on nutrition. And it's a little over 900 pages. It took me probably 2.5 weeks of reading that every day in order to get through the book. It's quite intense. And what the story was behind all that thing is when people eat correctly, they live a long time. And I suggest everyone reads that book, The China Study. Just order it and have it delivered to your house and sit down and read it. And a lot of people were cured from different types of cancer in that book by just changing their eating habits. And it's a great read, highly complex read. One story was they took groups of rats and they gave them liver cancer. The groups of rats that ate like an American diet, almost all of them died. They changed the other group of rats to eat nothing but organic vegetables, and a high majority of them, if I'm correct at this, I believe 100% of them were cured. The scientists couldn't believe that even happened, so they ran the test again with another group of rats, and again and again and again and again, and the conclusion was that was right, because the rats that ate the vegetable type thing lived. And that woke me up a little bit on that part. And maybe I wasn't feeding my body correctly during the process of getting blood cancer and many other different types of cancers that us human beings get. Animals get them too for not eating correctly. And a lot of dogs, are eating the wrong food, and then they get different types of diseases because of that too, and cats. But anyway, I end up going through that whole process. I end up getting tremendous amounts of diarrhea at that point. I end up getting diarrhea so bad that they actually had to put a tube up me, and it would run out on the floor and through a tube because at that point it would just flow out. Then I got several other sicknesses in there because, when you're in the hospital, everybody's sick, and you're going to pick up lots of different things from different people, walking down the hallway, touching a door handle, whatever. And I was in like quarantine where they would have to come in with like hazmat suits on and work on me, that type of thing, and then take the suit off after they left and throw it away. So there was things like that going on. So anyway, I end up getting out of the hospital. I end up getting better after about 28 days of that. Grueling, actually. I think I went 12 days without able to take a shower. I'm one of those kind of guys, if I don't take a shower every single day, I don't feel good. But anyway, I end up getting back out of the hospital. Now I'm feeling pretty good at this point. I'm still very weak and fairly skinny. I went down to about 145 pounds. I was, before I got sick, I was 210 pounds. I'm 6'4". And that's pretty good weight for me. Probably 200, 186, 200. It's a good weight for me, actually. But anyway, I go home. I'm feeling good. I'm pretty confident. I pretty much beat this thing. I go to a party at my work where I was working at, which was IGS Energy. Great company. If you ever want a job there, that's a great company to look into for sure. They were very kind to me. My supervisors were my friends. They were hardworking people too. They're a lot of hardworking people. Very smart people there. But anyway, I went to, and I ended up eating some chicken, some fried chicken, and I think I ate a ding dong donut, and I had 2 root beers. As soon as that happened, went downhill immediately. It got so bad when I went home, I couldn't even function, laying flat on my back. I couldn't eat anything. Everything, again, tasted like burnt cardboard. Again, it was excruciating. Now, at this point, I had gotten sick. Now I was losing my eyesight. I actually went blind. The cataracts got so thick on my eyes from all the medicine that I couldn't see, and everything was the color black. So I couldn't watch television. I could hear the TV, but I could not see television. Could not read a book. If I was going to read anything, I had to hold it up very close to my face in order to read anything. And at this point, I was pretty much completely crippled. Very complicated to get up, very weak, unsteady. Now I was really sick. They shipped me back to the hospital. I was kind of distraught by that whole thing. And I think a lot of us human beings would get distressed over that, and I had anxiety over that too. Thinking it's the end. But anyway, so I'm in there now. I have extreme diarrhea again, and it's very bad. And I have like the world's record in our family, I believe, for soiling my pants. Sometimes I did it 5 times a day. It was embarrassing at first, but then I kind of like mentally got used to it. I was in so much pain, I was curled up, and I was trying to get out of my mind, my own mind at that point. And I had this nurse, his name was Matt B. I can mention him because I've mentioned him in other scenarios. He was 24 years old at the time. He was. And I had soiled my pants so bad. I had a diaper on, obviously. And he picked me up and held me in the shower with his clothes on. He had tennis shoes on. He was all wet. And hosed me down in the shower. And I said, Matt, you got yourself all wet. And he said, Mike, I brought clothes in here just because of this reason. And it was heartfelt for sure at that point. And he would hang with me during shift changes, going over his paperwork, because I believe me and him, thought the same a lot. We were both politically connected, the same. Some of the same funny things made him laugh. That made me laugh, that type of thing. And I had another nurse in there. Her name was Brittany. And Brittany was very kind, very upbeat for sure. And she was like, click of a finger, whatever I needed, that type of thing. And so during that process, I'm in there. And my blood counts weren't good. My body was fighting my brother's stem cells that he had given me, and things weren't going well. It was called a chimerism test, and the chimerism numbers really weren't that good. They want you to be at like 100% my brother, and none of me left in there. But I believe it was like 88%, and then there's 12% of me, which my body was fighting that. And I'm going to save the next part, which is actually quite amazing, and for next one. So hang with me on this. But this is Dude Positive out, and I'll see you on the next one.